woman, cisgender, fat, brown, Muslim, Canadian, middle-aged, fashion student, business consultant, daughter. So it's everyone's personal choice. For every individual that's out there, they're going to have an individual way of presenting themselves to the world. I think we all have a freedom to choose how we want to present ourselves to the world. Doesn't matter what our faith tradition or our culture background is. And the lovely thing about Canada is that you can exercise that right. I go about my life and I do what I'm doing. I don't stop to notice if people have stopped talking when I walked into the room. I don't stop to notice if somebody's looking at me sideways. I just do my life. I do my life. I'm waiting for the day when the conversation changes.
What is the process of veiling, and what steps do you go through, and how does it work? Is there a certain personalization of practice within that as a daily practice? Is it internalized? Is it a ritualization?
So, it's definitely something that happens from the heart. When we were on our spiritual pilgrimage to Mecca, in the afternoons we'd have some free time. So the guide that we had while we were on this journey would have discussions and talks in the afternoon, and we'd have an opportunity to ask questions about the faith tradition and about the history. And a woman raised her hand and she said, "So what's the deal with the veil? Is it required?" And the first thing he did before he spoke was he raised his hand, pointed a finger, and pointed his fingers to his heart. And then he said, "The veil comes from here." And I broke down, ran to the tent, because we were camping, and lay on my stomach and just cried, like uncontrollably, because I knew that there was some kind of a spiritual transition that had happened in my heart while I was on this pilgrimage. And I haven't taken the veil off since. So it is internal. It is very personal. It is very spiritual. And in this world that we live in, religiosity isn't very common anymore. And so I think it's hard for people to understand what that means to have a connection. Yes, we have a connection with the universe and the laws of attraction, but we're not talking about God anymore. And when you believe in a God, the creator, an almighty, and ever compassionate, and you have that strong belief system in your heart, it's just something that you have on your own. And it's very difficult to share even with your mother or your father, or it's a very personal thing. And the ritualization only happens when you're walking out the door. You know, it all depends on how you manage it. I manage my headscarves in a different way than another member of my family who wears the veil does. I choose to fold them and keep them in a drawer. Somebody else chooses to hang them on a hanger. You know, the ritualization of how we get dressed in the morning is as different as how you and I get dressed in the morning. If you were to go through the steps of what's the first thing you do when you roll out of bed, do you brush your teeth first or wash your face first? And what, you know, that's all different. So that's just a part of getting dressed. But the motivation to wear it is really comes from the heart. So, what do you think of me now?